Back to another episode of Blake CNFT. This is the channel and the podcast that's dedicated to educating and informing you guys on what's going on in Cardano and Cardano NFTs. I try to put projects in front of you that I think deserve your attention, and you decide if they deserve your ADA. It is Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are hanging out for another market update. This is episode 73. Episode 73. Again, we've mentioned it a few times in previous videos, previous market updates, that we are we're in the bear market. We've got a lot of projects that have been on here before. We've got one newcomer, which will be interesting to talk about. We have Spark Lab minting on Monday, 8 p.m. UTC, so that's very exciting. We'll be talking a lot about Spark Lab as well. But anyways, just want to welcome everyone in and just appreciate all of you guys for stopping by again tonight. Got a full show for you. But what I wanted to do was bring on some of the team members of the Spark Lab who wanted to come on. And obviously these guys have been in the space for a long time, have done a lot of work with the Spark Lab, and then just have been practitioners in the space, mentors, flippers, holders, everything. And so I thought it would be great to get, their opinion. And again, just to kind of, just show of our team, show of transparency, have them come on. So we're going to bring on Oside 3000 and Relic Crypto. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Glad to be here.
Yeah. It should be
everybody
a fun
in chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with Oside. Just give everybody a little rundown. I'm sure anybody who has watched other content creators or been inside of other live stream chats has seen your name. You are a frequent to you do a great job supporting everyone, because I think you see the value of content creators and what they can do for an ecosystem, and just encouraging people to stay consistent. I don't know, you kind of speak to that a little bit, and just kind of your crypto journey in general.
Yeah, I think it's been fun for me because I come from the poker world, and that was the first thing that ever really stuck for me, where I was like wanting to be consistent on it. So what I've decided to do, since I've transitioned into the crypto world now, kind of leaving that behind. I still do that for fun, but now I'm focused on this, and I'm trying to bring that same level of consistency here. So what I do is basically all the lessons I learned in 25 years of playing, I'm now just putting it into this. And I have a lot to learn coming in here too, because so many of the things that people are utilizing, like Twitter, Discord, all these things, that's all fairly new to me. So it's been interesting just traversing, trying to find the right path, right? Like, what's the most efficient way to learn and maximize my time, because I am pretty busy. So I need to make sure that 1 or 2 hours a day that I can focus on this, that I know where to go. And so for me, video was real big. So I immediately went to the YouTubes and, got rugged by, the Ape guy or whatever. He was one of the first ones. CNFT.Tools was one of the first ones. And then quickly found you and Nick and 35ers. And everything's seemed to really organically been building from there. So I'm super excited about being part of the Spark Lab for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny Girl, good to see you. Resin, Crypto Anger, Eero Art, Fiddler, always good to see you guys in chat. Ray, Relic, what kind of give your story?
Yeah, so kind of similar. I got into crypto a few years ago. Found YouTube an indispensable resource for finding out information. I kind of jumped into Cardano NFTs just about a year and a half ago, maybe was when I minted the first one, and just kind of stuck around. The community is so positive, and everybody's so smart too, which is really refreshing to be around people who are moving and shaking in the space. And particularly I found a home here in Cardano, and I love it. I love being a part of it. I love the liquid staking, and I love the people that I've met and have partnered with even. I don't come from a traditional technology background. That being said, I feel, that it's something that I've progressively become more passionate about over time. And now I think it's hooked me pretty good. I think I'm in it now for the long term. I don't suspect I'll be going anywhere.
Yeah. I think all of us in this this stream are probably in that camp. Just we got hooked, and there's a passion there and an excitement. We also have
everybody watching too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching right now, it's like you're in this. You believe in this, and there ain't no stopping us at this point. It's. I mean, the only thing that's going to stop the people here in this room and in the chat here is zero. That's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah. And we've got the fourth member of our team. We've got Crawfish. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sound might be kind of weird where I'm at, but hopefully it's not too bad.
That's better. That's better. Cool. But yeah, we're just kind of going through our stories, or just kind of a little intro about ourselves. So if you wanted to just share a little bit.
Oh, all right. Well, I got into Cardano. Let's see. Gosh, I don't even know now. It's a couple of years ago. I started. I started like probably with a lot of people. Sort of Charles' whiteboard video, and then the video. I can't remember the exact title. It's like the island, the ocean, and the pond.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one like really like solidified. It was like, okay, this makes the most sense. Then I just started diving in, and then just started, fell in love with the ecosystem. Found NFTs, and it's I guess the rest is history. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I just wanted to kind of start off the stream with just a little intro of you guys. We will be, of course, talking about the Spark Lab, some of our thoughts and just different ideas that we kind of all brought to the table as we were experimenting with that and iterating the different versions. But let's jump into the market update, and we'll jump into Spark Lab after that. But again, we've got some common household names, you could say, here in the top 10. And then we've got Zesty Zebras and Goofy Gophers are the kind of the relatively new ones. Everybody else, Chilled Kongs, Mallard Order, Ore, these guys have been around. Cardano Crocs Club, these guys have been around for a long time. And you can kind of see that. You can see a lot of the liquidity being taken out of B and C tier projects and then being reallocated into the A blue chip, whatever you want to call them, or just parking it in ADA. That's kind of where a lot of people are, or some people are making some DeFi coin plays, and we can talk a little bit about that as well. But just looking again at the 24-hour volume, we're sitting at 358. So kind of under in my own head, my 400K 24-hour volume, pretty far under that, which is not great. It's kind of been bumping up and down with just different liquidity, mints and different events there, but don't like to see that being the number that we're at now. But I guess I'll kind of go around the horn. I'll just kind of start on with O-Side again, just kind of going top to bottom. Just your thoughts on the market currently and what your strategy has been, during this time.
So for me, I'm definitely not surprised that it's dropped back down to 300-400. It was a surprise that it creeped up at all to me. I guess it's because of the new whale or whatever. Like, I haven't been keeping track of Twitter lately, so I know there was a new guy that kind of shook things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I definitely expected that volume to go back down. I was for a while trying to pick up, like a little bit here, a little bit there, just thinking I'm timing the bottom, but of course that's impossible. So I kind of switched gears. I started messing with the DeFi. I figured it was time for me to start learning, just kind of get off my ass with that. So to kickstart that, I mean, I basically used my Ninjas token because that was, I mean, I had a bunch of that airdrop to me. So I was like, okay, let's start with farming this. And I had also bought some AADA a while back and was just sitting on it, and then it spiked up. So I was like, okay, that's fun. So decided take a little bit of that, and then we'll start farming that too. So that's where I'm at now. Is I'm just kind of looking at different spots, different coins that I may want to farm like that. And I'm putting my money in there right now, but I'm still watching the market like a hawk for sure.
Yeah,
because there's definitely still spots there that I think are great entry points on just so many projects.
Right.
Stuff that will be around a year or two from now. So
sure.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Ray?
Yeah. You know, what I've been up to mostly is I'm a partner of DRMZ Stake Pool. And so we've been spending a lot of time and energy on education and trying to onboard new members by partnering with local businesses, you know, and having them do meetups in real life, you know, trying to hit events. We're also, you know, doing things with the Cardano ministry now. And we've put a lot of focus on recording the spaces. Our host, Rod, has actually become an official Cardano ambassador. So we're starting to record the spaces now. We're starting to, interview people. We just, this last Sunday, we interviewed Tony Rose from Atala Prism. And we were able to kind of go deep dive into that whole program and the importance of, you know, decentralized identifications, virtual credentials, that sort of stuff. You know, and that was fascinating. And so that's kind of the idea is, you know, every week to try and bring on a new topic, bring on somebody who's doing something exciting in the Cardano ecosystem, maybe get their hot takes on it, do the deep dive type of thing, kind of wrap it up with maybe, a little touch of philosophical discussion as well, because we are the Cardano ministry. But that's what we've been focusing a lot of energy on is really onboarding, education, and outreach.
Yeah, that's great. Crawford?
Sorry, what was the question?
Like, what are your plays right now in this market?
Oh, I'm mostly focused on just the tokens right now. I mean, I have a lot of NFTs. I mean, I have over 1,000 NFTs. I don't really see a need to be minting everything that comes out new now. Mostly just focused on some of the different fungible tokens, so I can have a little bit more flexibility with the liquidity that I have. You know, just definitely getting into some of the AI tokens, because I think that's probably the most obvious play for the next cycle. Just kind of going from there.
Yeah, AGIX being one of those probably.
Yeah, for sure. And NTX, NewNet, which is on AGIX's network, it's just a little bit cheaper, so you can get in better entry points. AGIX did just have a big drop today, though, so I picked up a little bit of that. So.
Nice.
Just
nice.
for record.
Okay, so we've got number one, Ape Society. They're the continue to be the top dogs. 4,500 ADA floor price. Just tons of whales in there. They did 400K of trading volume, you know, in between that, in that 2% listed mark. I guess I've never asked you guys if you guys, I'm guessing you're not, but is anybody here in Ape Society currently, or had been in Ape Society at one point?
No, unfortunately, I was one of those people that that foolishly said, "What is this artwork? I'm not interested in this."
Yeah.
Dumb.
We all kind of missed that boat at the beginning.
Yeah.
I like the
that gets
artwork.
out of hand real quick too. So it's like once you get priced out, it's tough to tough to feel like you're making a good decision on getting in. It's just because, especially after the amount of time doing this, it's like you really do feel like a lot of it's a crapshoot. So it's, spending something like that, it just has to be a small percentage of what I'm worth, on my wallet. And I just haven't reached that point to even think about it.
Yeah.
I liked the artwork. I just, at the time, I mean, it felt like every other project coming out was an Ape project, and I was just, a little bit of fatigue on that. And then there were so many times where people kept telling me, get in, when it was below 1,000. Cardano Shield would kept telling me to get in. And I just ignored it. So, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is almost, I think a reason why their floor price is so high. I think this is a great example of the founders really drove it. Like, you couldn't really tell from pre-mint, unless you were in the Discord all the time, like that the founders were actually going to be able to deliver all the stuff that they have delivered to this point and what they have planned in the future. Then you match that with an equally strong community who are diamond handed, 2% listed, but then also with with everything that's going on in the DAO, they're also building value and utility within that ecosystem. So yeah, again, Ape Society is great. The floor keeps kind of is in that 4,500 to 5K range for a while now, after being all-time high in October of 15, 16K. It really makes you think, but again, it is still a big chunk of ADA to enter a project, but they're definitely have positioned themselves well at preparing for whenever this next bull market is coming. So
I agree with that assessment, though. I think that as far as if you were involved and really active in the Discord and with that community, you probably saw this coming. But if you were on the outside looking in, you probably just, like me, were going like, okay, well, it's going up. Okay, cool. That's another one,
Right.
But if you were actually in the, on the ground floor of this thing and listening, like you said, I think that's accurate. They're probably all sitting in the back going, told you guys.
Right.
I remember, jumping into spaces and Chronic and Chrissy just telling everybody, you got to get in on this project. It's going to be amazing. And
yeah,
I sat on the sidelines. You can't win them all, right?
Can't win them all.
Great community though.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Absolutely. And then we can go to the Goofy Gophers, which are number 2. Again, 3.4% listed, another strong community, and this just minted recently in March. And these guys are little on-chain gophers that have, depending on what class they're a part of, they have different parts of their they get different like payouts based off of the mining that these guys do. They actually are part of this kind of mining ecosystem where the founders have bought, a large, almost $1 million worth of these ASIC miners, and they're building, this crypto farm, and a lot of the profits are going to be, distributed out to the different holders. And then again, based on what class you have, you'll get different perks and rewards. So a lot of people are excited about this. Floor being 700 ADA, like that's very impressive. The mint was almost 400 ADA to then in this market do almost a 2x from that high of a mint price is really impressive. And I've talked about these guys every week and still haven't gotten in. I know that some people have been like, hey, I got my profit, I'm good to go. And others are like, man, I'm riding this thing out. Like it just continues to do well. But yeah, I'll kind of open the floor for anybody who had any thoughts on Goofy Gophers, or if you guys got in. I will say, now that I'm looking at this here, holder distribution is pretty very strong, or it's low. Unique wallets is lower than, say, again, it's been longer in the space, like a Clay Nation or a Spacebudz, but I thought it might be a little bit higher than only 1,000 holders. But anyways, thoughts from you guys on this?
There's definitely quite a few holders with. Sorry, go ahead. I was saying there's a bunch of holders that have over 100. Like, there's some serious conviction with it. Like,
wow.
I mean, the point of it is a long-term play that's going to pay you. So it's like you don't technically need to sell ever, but I mean, that's whether or not it makes mathematical sense to do that. That'll be to determine. You have to. There's a lot of factors at play. Like some of them pay from like what the other ones do, and because they gamified it quite a bit, and so some of them, it only matters what the miners are actually mining, and it's definitely unique. I definitely like what they're doing. The team seems strong. They made a real good purchase on the miners at a great time. I mean, like basically the bottom of the bear market, you scoop up $1 million worth of miners, like it's pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely a neat one to watch. I'm definitely interested in what they do in the future.
Yeah, Crypto Enger is asking when. I think what time is it starting? Meaning like when does the minting like actually turn on? Might be the question. I think it's like almost even like next month or something.
They have some already mining. They did a pre-sale of 1,000 of them, and so they, I want to say they bought 6. I could be wrong. They were able to buy 6 miners with the pre-sale, and those have been mining strong. I want to say they've mined about $15,000 worth of Litecoin just off the pre-sale. Some of the miners were delivered in the last few days. Whether or not they're on yet, I don't know. I think the plan for that's to be May 1st is when they're supposed to be starting to really turn on, start mining. And then for the first 6 months, anything they mine is going back into buying more miners. And then after that, it'll be 3 months before payout. So you're looking at 9 months before you're even going to get a payout. But I mean, it's potential to compound those first few months. I mean, it could do really, really well.
Yep. Interesting.
I'm vaguely starting to learn about it myself just because with the Viking squad, they're using the Helmies fund. Part of that, the Helmies fund is going towards buying these. So as a passive income play. Yeah. My only thing with it is what's the math? Like just trying to figure out like, okay, at what point does it make sense to not buy based on what returns I'm going to get, right? Because we know these floor prices, they can fluctuate greatly. So at what point am I losing money by buying one? Because there has to be some number that is true. So, and I don't think we're there yet by any means, but that's kind of what every time I think about this project, that's what I think about is, okay, well, how much am I going to get back, and how much can I afford to put up? Like, the math is just still too tricky for me to kind of jump in that. So I'm pretty happy to just sit back and watch what the Viking squad does with it and just see how those progress for now.
For sure. Crawford, do you have any numbers on what the cost is?
It's really hard to extrapolate out the data they have now. So no, unfortunately, because part of it goes to the miners, and then they also there's a part of it that's going to go to a fund that is going to essentially be like a DAO-like fund that people can vote on, and to make other plays.
The Juniper Room.
Yeah, the Juniper Room. That's what that's called. That'll that's going to essentially be like a DAO-like thing that they can. I mean, you can invest in anything, whatever people decide to vote on and make proposals from. But yeah, it's as far as like how profitable it is, like there's no real way to know until you just actually do it for a while. Because I mean, I think when you actually buy a miner, if you were to just go out and buy a miner and had all the know-how to set it all up and everything, I think it's usually roughly like 2 years before you like a break-even point. But the miner could last for 5 years. So then like the next 3 years is all just free essentially. And of course that's at the current prices. If you were to hold through that and then sell, then go into a bull run and sell it, you could get 10-20x as we've all seen with bull runs. So it's like,
very interesting. So, it's
so many factors. Idea. So many factors. You can't really just put a solid number on that.
Right. But yeah, always it's been interesting to see this project continue to develop as after it minted their second sale. And I definitely, if anybody knows Goofy Gophers team, I know they were on Freedom 35ers, and I could have Tommy reach out. But yeah, that'd be interesting to have them on for a call. We talked a long time ago, but obviously a lot's changed. That was before their pre-sale. So yeah. Number 3 is Spacebudz. So most of us are familiar with Spacebudz, first 10K collection on Cardano, 4% listed. They just had their, went through the wormhole, got your kind of updated artwork. Does anybody know the Twitter handle of the guy who it's like Beast is his like Twitter name, but what's his handle? I'm trying to search for it and I can't seem to find it, but I could keep trying to look. Does anybody know it off the top of their head?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay.
The new whale guy?
Yeah.
It starts with a Y. That's all. YEH or something like that. Yeah. YEHM. It was like Yamadi or something. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. I apologize.
Yeah, I'll find it. But yeah, if anybody wants to tackle just your thoughts on Spacebudz, it's always fun to hear somebody else's thoughts because I kind of say mine all the time, and people who are in here every week kind of know my stuff.
I personally, I love the new artwork. So I think it looks really good. It makes a really sharp, PFP. Obviously, when you sport the Spacebudz PFP, it is a subtle flex, right? So there is that as well. I hope the best for him. I think all the things that Alessandro does are kind of exciting, and he's always pushing the space. And this is another. For me, I think this is a win. The artwork looks great.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I definitely like how they did it. I mean, they handled the whole thing with poise and professionalism, which I appreciate in this space.
Yeah.
And then, other than that, nothing's really changed for me with Spacebudz. I have the same thesis on them, is that buying one is betting on ales. That's it for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's really not much more to it than that.
That's a project that
I have noticed they got some.
Sorry, go ahead, Osai.
They got some new holders recently. Go for it.
Yeah, speaking of new holders, it's definitely a project that I've been watching for a while, and same thing with like the Ape Society. It got pricey there for a little while and made it a little bit more than maybe I wanted to pay, or maybe more than I wanted to or was able to afford at the time. But if things keep going the way they're going and things keep dropping, I think 3,000 ADA for a Spacebud may or may not be, a decent place for personally for me, might not be a bad place to start looking,
Yep. Crawfish was trying to get me to buy one. He was talking in our chat. He was like, what was the one that was for sale for 3K a couple weeks ago?
It was a star suit with a hockey stick. I just know you like the hockey sticks. And I was like, dude, that's like, that was, I think it was like 3,500 or something.
Was it on JPEG?
Yeah, JPEG.
Oh, now I got.
I was just like, this is like right up your alley. I don't remember what animal it was.
Hashtag Blake Bud.
If I had the ADA at the time, I would have probably grabbed it for you.
An arcane? No, wait.
No, it had a face. I just don't remember. I don't remember what animal it was.
Oh,
I think it was a green spacesuit.
Oh my word! This one was accepted for 2,500.
Oh, that might. No, I don't think it had a gun. That one's sweet. Though. I would have got that one. 2,500. That's a deal.
That is a deal. Jeez.
Yeah, this is 3,000 range. I'm definitely looking at them. Like I've been wanting one for a while. Just 5K is pretty much what they were forever, and it's just like, do I want to spend 5K? I mean, I don't really want to spend 3K, but it's like it's a bud,
Yeah,
right. It's a bud.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely interested. I'm looking at them. Maybe if one of these fungible tokens I have just goes on a crazy tear, I'll sell some and get one.
Yeah. Looks like it was a cat. But yeah, cat starsuit hockey stick would have been.
I'm pretty sure it was a green starsuit and just a hockey stick. I don't know
I gotta look. I gotta. This is actually a good question. Are there notifications for like specific things going on sale? I guess that would be jungle, right? That would be like a
Yeah,
jungle
that's
pass?
jungle. You can
Yeah.
edit, like if you go to the tab you're on now, go scroll down a little bit and then go to like select just Starsuit and it'll show you sold on just Starsuit now.
Right. That's what I have for hockey stick.
Oh, okay.
And I clicked. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, it was a dog.
Yeah, I think it was a dog. That sounds
Yeah,
right.
yellow dog. Oh man.
Yeah, it was a
That's sad.
clean looking one. I really liked it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, yellow Starsuit. I'm sorry, I said green.
No,
That's
it's
like
fine.
throwing
I
everything
was
off.
just trying to find it now. Now I'm angry.
Yeah,
that someone got it for
that's
25.
what it was.
I've been
2500?
liquidating some old
Wow.
NFTs. I'm
Good
up
job,
to 3K
Crawfish.
now. So
Wow.
You upset the boss. Good job.
yeah.
Sorry. I told him about it. I told him.
He did. He tried.
It was like 2 up from the floor when it was listed, and I was like, "Oh man, Blake needs to
someone
see
was
that."
really trying to liquidate there. I missed my shot. Block Street, good to see you. Ada Legend, Uncle P, see you guys. All right, Clay Nation, another one that's kind of been hovering around the 2K area, even under 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Always some good pieces on the floor, and if you can, go check if the clay has been baked or not. The clay token with some of these, if they have not been claimed, that's an extra, few hundred ADA as like you could even use that rebate, you could call it, if you wanted to sell the token and claim it. But yeah, these always do very well. Always have stuff building in the background. And yeah, clay at 2K is also another one that's just like, I mean, I have one. I could almost just like double up. So then, next bull run, I could take a profit on one and keep the other. But yeah, that's always a good, another great project to park some ADA in and kind of ride it out.
I wouldn't be surprised. Clay is one of those teams where they go dark for a minute and then they come out and drop some news and just blow everyone's mind, and then they skyrocket.
Right.
So like you were saying, I think 2000 ADA is time to start paying attention to this project again as well, because we're probably on the precipice of something huge coming in the next month or two, but you never know.
Right. And when you have, what was it, not like 3 months ago, the floor was at 4K.
Yeah.
So it's just like, almost 4,500. It's like, man, you look back and you're like, man, there's some fire sales going on.
Yeah, they're
right
on
now.
sale.
So yeah, not
It
really.
was sitting under 2K for a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it going like, I can't figure out who to rob right now. So I don't know. And like for a few hours, I was thinking about it too.
Yeah.
Who can I get? Nope.
My problem with clay is I hardly ever like the floors. I want the ones that are like 7-8K range. I'm like, I don't want to do that. But
yeah, I get that.
Too picky.
You got expensive taste though.
I do.
Yeah, so this is their marketplace. Not my assets. So these guys have some. This isn't the full amount. It should show, like this. Like this is all 12,000 is all unclaimed for 23.
Wow.
So yeah, go through here and see. 5K is pretty decent.
That wizard hat's not.
My problem is I like the GCs better, personally.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious if you haven't claimed, what's 12,200? That's a pretty good amount of clay token. That's pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's sizable.
I don't know. I think
that's what I plan on farming too.
I can pull up on them.
I'm kind of doing it right now. So clay 12,267 is 321 ADA at current price.
It's not
so
a
you're
bad
basically
discount.
you're getting 300 ADA off
Wow.
if you kind of cash that out. It's not bad. You're basically getting that one for the floor, I guess you could say. And if you wanted to, like this one, 6544 is. Oh wait, no, it's pulling it from JPEG. Okay, that makes sense. Anyways, yeah. So go ahead and check Clay Nation out if you don't have one yet. I think you have to own. You have to own something clay. If right now you either buy some clay tokens, which is the lowest entry point, just buy like 10 ADA worth of clay, whatever, and then you can go all the way up to like buying a pitch, which is probably the next entry point. It's like what 200.
Yeah, it's not hard to get exposure.
You can get a Sonic Village for 160.
Look at the floor price for medium Sonic Village. Like even the medium sizes are super reasonable right now.
232 medium Sonics. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Insane.
Full disclosure, I mean, I bought this was almost a year ago at this point. I bought a small Sonic for like 600. And I was like, I thought that was a good deal because it was coming down from its initial pump. But here we are, medium
at the
Sonic
time,
for 232. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I scooped a medium Sonic. I thought it was on the floor and on sale back at CNFT.Con. I want to say I paid over 700 ADA for it.
Yeah. Yeah, now you got good Charlottes at 670.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, side, I can definitely see you liking GCs better. This is definitely the vibe. Yeah, I love it.
I like GCs better too, for the most part.
Yeah,
like there's some of the original clays that I just think are awesome, but I don't know. As a whole, I think the GCs look better. But there's some GCs that I think are disgusting too. So I mean, like everything's like all relative. So you know, like some of them is just a little too much gore for me. I just I don't know about all that.
Yeah. You can find something wrong with anything.
Sure.
Yeah. So it looks like 5366 is the max. Yeah. 5368.
Oh, that one with the microphone was cool.
These are nice. They're very, very well done.
Yeah, they're clean.
All right, Cardano Crocs Club. We don't have to go through all of these. I'm just gonna do the top 5, and then we can maybe even move past that. We can talk Zesty Zebras. I want to talk Zesty Zebras. Under 2% listed for Cardano Crocs Club. 600 ADA floor on these guys. So these, Asung is always in spaces, always talking about the project. Poker platform, which I know Oside has some thoughts about. But yeah, the Crocs ecosystem is always strong. I don't know if there's any new updates. I can check really fast. Don't think there was anything that I had seen earlier. Passive, just staking my Croc, I'm getting a passive income of $5.37 a day for their token. So there's that.
Did they say how many?
Someone's saying that must be a lot of Crocs. So yeah, interesting.
Because I mean, I haven't looked at the price of it recently, but I know C4 was pretty low there for a minute. So I don't know how much they're getting either. I haven't really looked into the metrics on that.
Right. And I believe this is polling. This Cardano Crocs Club is polling all the different policies. So it might not just be, this 208 is the floor price. So it's, it's kind of pulling all of them together.
Almost 1,700 holders. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good distribution.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
They got a big community, and what I will say that on the bullish side for me would be that they have a lot going on, which is a positive for the potential of the token, in my opinion.
Right.
Which is also, this is the same reason why I'm farming Ninja's token as opposed to just selling that off, is that it's similar in that, where it's like they have a variety of things going on, which is going to allow them to maybe experiment with different ways to use tokens. Now, this is, in my mind, the way that nut's going to get cracked in how to make a token retain value. So I will say, just from the outside looking in, at how much they're working on the project, I will say that's a positive on my end as far as like looking at the token. Now, you said I have thoughts about the poker platform, and that's for sure. That's just something that I'm not ever going to shake, is that people can and will cheat in poker. They always have. They always will. I'm not saying that anybody over there is going to cheat you. I'm not accusing them. But I will say that people in a position to use some kind of power to benefit themselves in a way that they think they won't get caught, they'll do it. And that's the reason why I'm staying away from it, because, and this is my reason, is that they are building the poker software, right? I have no assurance that that is going to be legit. I mean, I have to just say it like that, because
Unless they open source
I've
it.
played on sites that are legit and were being overseen by regulators, and still cheating happened. So that's my whole thing with it. Just that one particular aspect of that. It's nothing against the whole project. It's just, you know what? It's one of those things where if there's an exploit and you got a bad apple in the bunch, they're going to go for it. And so just for that reason, super careful about not just them, any poker platform that I would ever use. And this includes going and sitting down in a brick and mortar casino. I'm still looking to see who's trying to cheat, because it happens there too. So that's all I have to say about that.
Well, yeah, it's definitely good to keep in mind for sure. So I found the profile. This is the guy. This is the guy who's kind of been making waves in the ecosystem, just buying a bunch of different projects, just with a bunch. I think it was over 100K USD, just kind of just unloading, just buying whatever. And here's his pool PM link, so we'll pull that up. And this, I thought this pool was interesting. Like, of these three, of course, Mallard Order is like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not. It's not totally as skewed as I thought it might be, but like, yeah, it's an interesting three options. And then he's got he's been talking to Beyond Rockets or Aided Ninjas. He's got some Dean token, of course, 69,420. Nice. Actually, they're probably sending this to him. Some of these people are he's getting sent things.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why this is
100%.
definitely some people sending stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything that he actually purchased in here. This clay looks pretty rare. In this orange.
Yeah,
There you go. Try and guess which one he actually bought.
Yeah, he bought the ape suit, that one for 66,000.
66,000 ADA.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. That's a good pickup. And these are not cheap either. The
I don't know what this one.
The tentacles is another pretty rare with the laser eyes. That's nice. Some Tavern Squad, Chilled Kongs. Let's see, that's like a gold skin one, so that's probably pretty rare. U25, some Crocs, or one Croc. He got is this a military officer? Royal Advisor, Ape Society. That's a pretty
sure that was like a 35K purchase.
Yep, that's a big one. Let's see. Maybe he bought some Aided Ninjas. Maybe he bought a Mandrills. Depending on if he bought a wolf or he got sent that. Mallard Order. He probably bought that one.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
He got, and then these, the two Spacebudz are the two other huge purchases. I'm trying to look at anything else. 2 Alley Cats. He probably bought those. I don't know if those are rare or not. And yeah, the Elephant Bud and the Bull.
Yeah. Yeah, those are
both. The Bull was what, 60? What was the Bull? I could go look. I don't know if he bought it on the.
I'm not sure. I know one of the buds was like 120, so ish range. I don't know. Yeah, you can just look at the spike.
There's 8 bulls, so 159K. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Look at this big old.
Yeah, there you go.
Right there. Yeah. So 159 bought the bull. I wonder who he bought it from. Probably Faha or one of the OGs.
It's pretty crazy. He almost doubled the daily volume on Cardano. Just him.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Shows how small
it
we
must
really
be
are.
Fun to be able to shop around for traits like that with that kind of budget. That must be pretty fun to look around.
Yeah, that's you're gonna have a good
time. You gotta get some one-of-one art in there. Get some one-of-one art in that wallet, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
might as
sure.
well.
Anyways, yeah, so that was fun to kind of look around and kind of see him making waves in the space. Just interesting. It's funny how people with lots of money are just like, yeah, let's throw it around and have some fun. One thing I did want to mention too, before we jump into more Spark Lab stuff, is Zesty Zebras. They came in at number 9 for market volume, 75,000 of secondary trading, 6% royalties. So Zesty Zebras is currently minting on JPEG Store. I'll just tell you now, I wouldn't recommend it. But again, you decide what to do with your ADA. I'm just telling you about the project. I'm going to give you my thoughts. 90% sold out in the middle of this bear market. Again, 500, 600 holders. They're minting for 59, which isn't crazy, but also isn't like a 5 ADA mint. It's not a 10 ADA mint. And I genuinely don't know why they're selling. Someone please in the chat, if you are buying these, tell me, or if you're watching the replay of this, or if you're listening on the podcast, like tell me what about this project makes you want to mint, other than I hope to flip this on somebody else. That can't be your reasoning. I mean, it can, but
yeah,
I don't care about that. So I'm just confused. I really am just confused. This looks, again, I'm the variety of traits. Let's just do a little floor check. It's actually not bad. I guess these two have the same face.
I was gonna say they look different, but none of them really stand out as like, ooh, I like that one. It's just like,
I mean,
they're different.
They're just different. Two of these, same face, same mouth. 3 of those have the same mouth. Any little trait check. This is their profile. Again, minted through JPEG. Welcome to the CNFT Savannah. Got a little video. Website, doesn't look like it took a ton of time, just to be honest. Someone who's building a website and has built a website. Our main goal, right, is bringing the good vibes back to the CNFT community while still having a good time. So you're buying this project.
My vibes are fun.
You want to have a good time and you want to have good vibes. Okay.
I'm having a good time every day. Don't worry.
These are the founders of, they're not doxed. I was going to go to the white paper. I thought there was something in the white paper no, it wasn't the white paper. Vision. I'd been the vision. Our goal is to build a brand. Okay. We are all trying to build brands. We're supporting one another while keeping it positive and keeping the good vibes, building connections and exchanging knowledge. Like what is unique about this? Like what is different? Someone tell me how this is different from the Mallard community or the, Spacebudz community or the Clay Nation community. Like we already have enough communities. And it's also fair to say after being in the bear, that community is not going to sustain you through. I just really am hesitant when I see something like this, and all of this, right? At 59 ADA times 5,000 NFTs, this team is going to bring in like 100K USD from the community for these Zesty Zebras in a great Discord community. I'm confused. Can someone here on the stream help me out? Like I don't understand. I'm trying to understand.
Don't look at me.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm just here for the vibes, for the good vibes.
Yeah, here for the good vibes.
You want to ruin my good vibes with this, man?
Okay,
come on.
Don't hurt my vibes.
I'm ruining everybody's vibes.
Nah, man. If they're having fun, great. Whatever. This is, to me, honestly, man, this is something that's a dime a dozen to me. It's something that I ignore, and then it'll pop up on my Twitter a couple times a week for the next few weeks.
Sure.
That's about it. I mean,
when a project says, if a project all they say is like we want to build a brand, it's like, great, what is your brand going to do? It's like,
right,
Gucci has a brand. Their brand is high-end luxury products. McDonald's has a brand. It's burgers. So it's like you can't just say I'm going to make a brand and then that's it. Like,
and your
what does it do?
Can't be chill vibes. That also can't be your brand.
I mean, look at it this way. If that's your utility, you can't miss, right? I mean, if you leave it open ended, I mean, You can
You're
you can
literally
always
allowing
say you're
them to-
delivering.
right.
I don't know. Those the first day that somebody doesn't have a good day and they show up in the Discord, then technically they've rug pulled, I guess. So.
Oh my goodness.
Also,
Anyway.
I think
Sure.
this is another funny line that I
You
think
got
is
at the door.
interesting. We don't want to be like other projects that promise the world and can't deliver. Okay, I could agree with that, right?
Sure.
So they're going to do the total opposite. They're never going to promise anything that they can't deliver. So like, what are you giving us? I don't understand.
Yeah, there needs to be some middle ground between not
Yeah.
promising the world and we're not going to tell you anything. Like there needs to be some middle ground there. Like,
And staking doesn't count because everybody understands that staking is not like you can't just like it doesn't manifest value. Like you have to have something solid as a foundation. Then you can introduce a token. Anyways, it's just I guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna apologize. I just don't see anything in here that I think warrants a team to get 100K. I just don't. I don't see it.
Not at all. I mean, that doesn't mean they can't build
I'd
something.
say like 10K. I'd say this is worth about 10, 15K, something like that.
Yeah, if that. Really.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that as more reasonable. Like if they minted for 10 ADA or something, then just for fun.
Yeah.
I did recently mint something for 10 ADA that I know it's not doing anything. I don't even remember what it was now. Some pixel seals or something. I was just like, this is fun. I mean, when I got a legendary, I'm like, cool. It's just gonna
we were
sit in
talking
my
about
wallet. I'm not gonna do anything
Right.
with it. But
Right.
Well,
so I mean, it's fun.
What's tough for me is that you've got a project here. What is the min price? 59, you said, or what was it? Yeah, 59. And then you've got projects already out here, like and shout out like YOLO Solos, that's still minting for 35 that offers tons of utility, constant community building, constant partnering with the various projects. So for me personally, I would feel more comfortable with something like that. Somebody who's a staple of the Cardano community and offering a ton of utility versus Zesty Zebras.
Or Danketsu is like around 60, 70 right now, and I mean you can actually play their game. It's like, I mean, I don't know.
I think also just it's fresh in my my mind and my heart because we've spent so much time, literally over like 6 to 7 months now at this point. Like,
I know what you're gonna say.
Painstaking detail of like, how do we want to say this? What are the words? What's the name? Like, how are we going to go about this? What's the NFT look like? How does the site look? How does it feel? How do we interact? How do we roll this out? What's our marketing plan? Like everything. And, it's just
how to keep it all cohesive.
Right. And keep it all cohesive. Right. And it's, and you're in the middle of a bear market and you're trying to, roll these different features out and, minting 250 NFTs, like we're not going to get anywhere close to this, at least initially, right? Like these guys are going to get 100K for 0. And maybe, there's plenty of, somebody can maybe argue back at me for, I don't think that's just, I don't want to say like, well, you should spend money on my project. I'm just saying like, as a general, again, this is the thing that always rubs me the wrong way. Like degen mints are fine. They have their place. It's fun, whatever. But like, also we need to focus on the ones that are actually like trying our best to bring more value to the space. Anyways, but yeah,
I think to riff off that a little bit, Blake, something that I think is comparable is that good projects are always like oil on water. So no matter what the level is, the good projects always rise to the top. And the crap projects are the ones that we won't really be talking about much longer. And sure, they might have a quick cash grab or whatnot. But when they're not adding anything to the community, we won't really see much from them, in the future. So it's important just to really do your own research and find out which people are doing things in the space that actually make sense.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Again, if you're on the team of Zesty Zebras or if you're a mod or whatever, like, and you want to try to help me figure out more about this, great. Like, please let me know. But just from what I can see and read and from the site, it's just like I'm just not seeing it.
I feel like we're ripping it to shreds.
Yeah, I mean, and
you know how personally I took the whole, like, the naming of the Spark Lab for me.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, just the naming of projects is just one of those sticking points for me. So when I see something like Zesty Zebras, I'm just like, that's so lazy. You know, and you're going to say chilled, and I don't equate zesty with chilled. So there's no cohesiveness there. So,
Right.
I have to just, sorry, check out on this.
I think the name is the best part of it, actually. I like the name Zesty Zebras, personally. I don't like anything else, but I do like the name.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's interesting.
Just think of the soap.
Yeah. Well, we have one interesting thread that we'll talk about that's somewhat related to the Spark Lab, and then we'll kind of get into some more just mint information and just talk it through. But that's basically the top 10 of this week, and yeah, we're just out here having a good time. One tweet that kind of went pretty far was from the Dirt Bird man himself, King Dave. Launching an NFT project right now is a bad idea with the skull emoji. If you're working on a new project now, it might be better to park that idea and pursue what is a much better opportunity in the short, medium term while you wait for the bull market to rebound. And then he's talking about the opportunity, become a service provider, if you have great artists, different projects. He's not saying you should never launch your own NFT project, but launching a project that completely flops might make it harder for you to do anything productive in the space. Timing is critical. Anyways, so he had a long thread about this. But obviously with the Spark Lab imminent, minting on Monday, it was interesting to read. And he's not obviously not like saying it at us or whatever, but it is something interesting to consider. And I don't know, I wanted to kind of get your guys's as you either saw this or are just reading it right now. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this.
I
definitely thought about us when I read it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of that sort of stuff going on right now where, project managers and such are saying this isn't the most ideal time. It really is there an ideal time? This could be the same conversation and during a bull market when it's like everything is so expensive and people are like, well, are they going to go for it? I don't know. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other one. I personally, I don't think it's ever a bad time to follow your dreams and follow your passions. If it's something that you're passionate about, it doesn't matter whether or not it's a bear market, bull market, whatever. It's something that you love and you're going to put your name on. You're going to succeed at it. Or certainly you're going to have a higher likelihood of success if it's something that you care about and it's something that you're passionate about. So in this particular case, I think it's safe to say that everyone involved in this particular project is extremely passionate about what's going on. We see your vision, and I for one am certainly excited about it. And it doesn't really bother me that we're in the bear market or that this might not be the most opportune moment. At the same time, if you take that advice and you're going to sit on the sidelines, you better hope that somebody else doesn't come along and release the project before you do because you were waiting.
Right.
Many life coaches, Tony Robbins and Vaynerchuk are all going to sit there and tell you now is the time. Yesterday was the time to launch your project, not 6 months from now. You need to do that yesterday. And I believe that's true. And I believe that, again, good projects are like oil on water. And if you're passionate about it, you'll do well.
Yeah. Jay, did you want to say something to that? Or do you have another thought on that?
For me personally, it was like, I definitely thought about our situation. I think that he's talking more about your Zesty Zebra type project, personally. And I keep thinking about us. There was somebody in the Discord chat earlier, and I forgot the name. I apologize, but they asked, why are you doing it like this as opposed to doing 1,000 for 100 ADA? And the simple answer is that we value our work. and I definitely value the idea that Blake brought to the table. And I don't think we should give it away. And I don't think we should wait. Can you imagine us like trying to wait at this point? Like it doesn't make sense. We're ready to go. The site's there. You can go use it. Let's do this. For me personally, I'm fired up, and I don't care if it's a bull or bear. We're going to create that situation on our own if we have to. At this point, we're in the depths of it, man. It's like, it's not going to get worse than this. Okay. As far as price, maybe, but I haven't cared about that anyways. My first ADA buy was at like $250. You think I care if we go down to 30 cents? Personally, I don't.
Yeah.
It's all coming back. I ain't stressing all that. And I definitely think that he has, I think he has the best interest of the whole community at heart when he made that thread. Because when you think about it, he didn't have to make that thread. I don't think he's trying to dissuade somebody from competing with him or something like that. Just look how cooperative they've been with mutants. That's not an issue to me. I really think that he thinks he's doing people a favor with this. And I personally, I just have to disagree. I think there can be some wiggle room as far as like waiting for a more opportune moment. But as far as like pushing it back and saying like wait for the bull market, I don't think that's the right move. You need to get in, get established, get working with people, start making connections, and build up from there.
Yeah, and I also think just if everybody's not doing a project, then that is similar to what Relic was saying. In the bull, there's like a project or two minting every day, so you're kind of lost in the saturation of just everybody doing it. And then in the bear, it's like, well, it's a bad idea. Don't launch a project now. But then you might be the project of the month because you have a great idea or because you kind of have a lot of hype and momentum behind you. And anyways, it's just an interesting topic, and he's I agree. I think his intentions were right, or like pure motive, but it's a good conversation, kind of starter conversation piece. But just moving to Spark Lab. I mean, we're 5 days away, right? We are minting at 8 p.m. UTC on May 1st, which kind of everybody but Asia kind of has you're within your waking hours, depending, I guess. What is it, like Sydney, Australia is like 6 a.m. So if you wake up a little bit earlier on that day, you'll be able to catch kind of the beginning, and then obviously into Middle East and East Africa, you're kind of in that 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. So I feel like that's probably the best range we could have done to kind of get things started. If you have if you've already confirmed your whitelist in the whitelist registration, you can go to this eligibility tab. You can connect the wallet that you confirmed your address with, and then you can let's see if this eligibility is going to load up for me. My internet's a little bit slow. Anyways, I'll let that load. But you can basically check if you're eligible for the whitelist, and it kind of got picked up on the other side. Making sure that you're good to go and ready. But I guess I wanted to bring you guys on again because you guys know your stuff with the Cardano NFT markets. But I also wanted to just kind of have you guys on to talk about Spark Lab, and I don't know, just more of like cumulative, I guess. We don't have to get into all the details. It does have to be another like hour-long section on the project, but would just love to hear the thought process behind What?
I said, okay, I'm throwing all my notes away then. Let's go.
Yeah, he's got all the notes.
I was ready for an hour of this, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, just what the experience has been like, and what just kind of being excited for the actual launch day, and people with the NFT can actually start diving into the site and getting online. I'll start with we'll do Relic first.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm super fired up about this. I've been a YouTube addict for a long time. So I think, this project is something that I feel is needed and is going to fill a really cool spot in the space. Um, and it's going to make it, like, to your point, a lot less distracting. We can kind of log on and do our thing, find the content that we need to find out about without having all these other distractions, and just to have a central hub for the entire crypto space that we can call our own, and and kind of vibe with our community for the Zesty Zebras. Get those cool vibes going. And then also, just kind of go ahead and learn about the different things that are happening. We've got some of the best crypto content creators out right now, certainly on Cardano. And the plan is to build the platform, and to kind of speak what we talked about a little bit earlier about their, not being the most opportune time. For me, I feel that this is one of the most opportune times. So it's where everyone's building. This is a great opportunity for content creators and both watchers and creators alike to have a place that we can go and learn about this stuff. And if there are mistakes, or if we're still figuring it out, or if the project, isn't 100% perfect and working like Netflix, when you first get there, I would rather it be like that now, because our community is tight. I'm reading the comments, like, we see these faces, we see them in our Discords, so it's exciting to be building this with everyone. This isn't just a Blake CNFT project. This isn't, the team's project. This is truly a Cardano community project. This affects us all, and it's a great opportunity for everybody to get kind of at the ground floor and stuff out, learn now, so that it happens. This project is already well established, and we're making more partnerships, more moves. I mean, the creators aren't going to start dropping out of our ecosystem. We're going to keep adding to the ecosystem. So this is one of those projects that's going to continuously build, continuously gain momentum, and potentially go cross-chain and involve. Blake has a lot of friends in a lot of different ecosystems as well that are content creators. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. And again, I'm appreciative of the community, and for those of you that have supported this project from day one. So I'm really fired up about it, really excited to be a part of the team. It's been a learning experience. And honestly, this has been a lot of fun for me, and I've developed a lot of good friendships through this. And I love the Blake community, and I love the Spark Lab and what it's out here to do.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Crawford?
Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with Relic there. Like, I feel like now is the best time for this type of thing, where we can build going into the next bull market and just have all that the library of stuff built up, nice educational material. Maybe somebody can learn something before the bull market versus trying to learn on the fly in the middle. You know how fast things move then. Like, it's insane trying to catch up in the middle of a bull market. And yet, back to the point with the dirt with Dave there a minute ago. Like, if you wait until everything's perfect to try to launch or try to do anything in life, like, you're never going to get anything done. Like, it just, like, if you only work out when you feel good, you're not going to work out. Like, so it's like,
yeah,
you have to just do things at some point in time, and then see how they work out. So I'm definitely excited for it. I can't wait to see where we are in a year.
Yeah.
Truth.
Oside?
Oh, dude, I'm pumped. I'm ready. Yeah. I was thinking earlier about how the team here, the four of us, are so we're varied. Like, we have different sensibilities. We have different things we like, different things we look for in projects, and this is just a perfect extension of that, because it feels like that's what the Spark Lab is going to be. This whole website is going to be for everybody. It's it's not about like my project versus your project or anything like in that sense as far as like competition wise. It's really about let's just get it all out there and let's just see where it goes. You know, I mean, we can all work together in trying to help each other just learn and become better at what we need to do in the space. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to lose money, obviously. And we're in here for maybe different reasons. Maybe you want to invest, maybe you want to flip, maybe you think whatever you think the right thing to do is, you still need to learn and experience. And the best way, in my view, of doing that is just immersing yourself with other people that are trying to do the same things. And this is what the reason why I love these YouTube channels and these YouTube Discord channels and all that is because these ones, this is where you're going to find consistency. And, you know, I love a lot of projects and I hope they're all here 10 years from now. But when you look at the communities of people that you are sure are going to still be here, it's the people that are really glued in and are just fixtures in this scene, man. And those people are in these discords that I'm talking about. And that's where you can be with, you know, it doesn't matter what project you're in. If we're both in this same Discord and we understand that we're talking about all of it, then that's great in my view, because I'm going to learn more from you. Hopefully you'll learn something from me. And this way, this is how things grow. And I think this site has the potential to grow in that same way. I mean, this has the potential for this real combustible event to happen with all this stuff, you know. And I would not be surprised if 2 years from now, yeah, you got 100,000 subs on this thing. I would not be surprised. I know it may seem far fetched, but it's not that many people, man. I have more people than that in my city alone, and I don't live in a big city. So, you know, just everybody, just keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing, and just keep learning. That's all that us at Spark Lab is going to ask of you, I think. I don't know, but
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's been amazing. It's been so much fun to work on, to have. It's been really fun. Probably one of the funnest parts is to have an initial idea and, you know, pitch it, bring people around. And then there's been so many, like, I think the main idea, a video content library for crypto and NFTs, I think that like 30,000 foot level has stayed the same, obviously, as you can see on the screen. But then in your mind, you have these different ideas of like, okay, it's going to look like this, or it's going to feel like this, or act like this, or whatever. And there's so many, like, millions of different like mini pivots along the way, different angles and different things that you do. And so, and I think that I don't think that process ever stops, right? This is our MVP. This is what we're showing as like, hey, this is our proof of concept. You know, do you want to become a monthly subscriber? Is this enough for you to want to become an NFT holder for the unlimited access? You know, then, you know, maybe, you know, down the road, a month or two, probably, then it's, you know, open to free users, you know, all those different types of things. You know, it's been super fun to work on. And actually, in the back, we got a special guest. We've got Thaddeus from Wild Tangs in here, our development and minting partner. So, Thad, welcome onto the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. We were just kind of it's been we were just kind of been talking about the road and kind of overarching themes, right? Or just general summaries about the experience of kind of getting to where we are, right? Minting in 5 days. You know, lots of pivots along the way, as I was just mentioning, but like I'm curious to just hear like your thoughts about, you know, working on the platform and like kind of, you know, obviously working with the team, and we've really enjoyed, you know, the stuff that you've been able to bring so far, and excited to see where we go in the future. But yeah, just would love to hear, and I'm sure that, you know, people would love to hear kind of your thoughts on Spark Lab as a platform so far.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a few things come to mind. I definitely heard sort of the tail end of that, and I was meditating for a sec because I know we got a May 1st mint, so I'm sending good vibes for the mint. So I was off meditating after putting the kids to bed. But no, I mean, look, I've it's crazy to think about. So I checked my calendar, and I think 2 or 3 days after your mint is when I drew the first Wild Tank sketch. So I've been in here about a year.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. And it feels like 10. And my thesis being in here has kind of started as these are fun communities to these are tools to really help us change the way we interact with certain paradigms. So, you know, some of the stats, you know, I know from you being a YouTuber and just how hard it is to monetize and grow audiences and develop niche content and really connect with the people who you most need to connect to. Like, that's what excites me about the platform. So, beyond it, also just being great to work with you. I share the sentiment, like building these unique things where NFTs and token gating really becomes kind of that first use case toward it. You know, it's really exciting. One kind of little alpha related to this that I'll talk about is for those who are watching, I was scrolling through NFT top 100 lists, and it turns out one of them is an old classmate of mine. So I got a talk with her, and I showed her Spark Lab, and her mind was like light bulb. Like,
I love that.
This is what she wants to see. She's a big builder on Ethereum. Like, so it was just a really exciting moment for seeing that connection with Spark Lab and the things people are doing on other chains, even at, you know, someone who'd made it to that kind of a list.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, and I think as more and more people hear about it, that's going to be a similar response. Like, I don't care what chain it's on, but like somebody's trying to. I mean, it's a beast, right? I don't think anybody's not going into this kind of eyes wide open, at least at this stage, right? We're 7 months in, 8 months in. It's like we kind of know what we're getting into, but like to know we're starting at this point, we want to bring people on, like. And I've been here. It's not like I'm just walking in like, hey, you should jump into this with me. It's like, yeah. So that makes me really excited, and I think we're gonna hear
Blake,
a lot more of that.
Did you know Cardano has NFTs?
Thaddeus always with the jokes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get the shot of you like laying on that rug, but just have the Spark Lab logo down there. That'll be.
It's so good.
It's good.
Man.
Anyways, but yeah, we're just excited. Again, it's been a fun journey, and we're just ready to kind of share it with you guys and get things off the ground. So a lot of the details are in the Discord. I just made an announcement again today in the major announcements, but really just like the major things are like 250 quantity right now. You know, there are plans to release more because we initially had planned for 1,000, so it's like we're just going to start smaller, but we plan to get to that 1,000 quantity at some point. 450 ADA for the mint. The whitelist is over allocated, so if you are on the whitelist does not mean you are guaranteed to get one. It is a serial mint, so starting the first to mint will get serial number 1. If that becomes rare at some point, great. If not, okay, it's cool. It's a great way to show us like, hey, you were an early supporter. And then also there's 5 different rarities, so you know there's rarity differences as well with the NFT. And there's some other things in there, but they're in the Discord. But yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I don't know if anybody has any kind of final parting thoughts or other things. You can go to the site right now if this is the first time you're hearing about Spark Lab. You can go and log in. You can sign up with Discord or sign up with a username, email, and password. You do have to have the $7.99 membership to start watching the videos because you know the mint's coming up soon, and we're gonna do the free mint. This is basically an early access, right, for the monthlies and the NFT holders until we kind of open the gates for all users, free users to jump in. And there's lots of more details in there, but I don't know if anybody had any kind of final parting thoughts on Spark Lab before we jump into the mint on Monday.
I do. I always have thoughts.
I love it.
I will, and then I just forgot because I remember what I was saying. So I was thinking about like, what would this look like if this was copied on Ethereum? And that really got me thinking that this is a very uniquely Cardano project. it doesn't seem like this would be easily replicated on other chains. And I may be mistaken, but I try to envision an Ethereum version of this just with the people that I've watched on YouTube that do that content, and I don't see them pulling it off, man. So I just really wanted to give props to Blake with the idea, and Thad for helping us put that together, and the rest of the team for sticking with it, man, because I think this is really something special, man.
Well, that's fair. Two things to that. One, we do plan on going cross chain, so there is going to be that opportunity for ETH people to jump in, or other people to jump in. But then I think that's also just props to some of the content creators that we have. Like, they were like, hey, like, I want to help you. It's not necessarily about like how much money can I try to get off of my content. It was like, hey, this is the contract. Great. Like, I think we should be good to go. And like the level of trust there for the different projects that we have on, it was like, hey, this makes a lot of sense for us to be here. Like, let's make something work. So everybody's just been super easy to work with. Kind of play the hypothetical. I think it probably would work on ETH, but then it's just so much harder with negotiations, because it's not as, I don't know, the dynamic just feels different on that. But anyways, it's been it's been amazing to work on, and excited to see where it goes further.
Great launching point for sure. I think that's uniquely it. There's multi-chain in the future for sure, but like it's so fun to see these projects on Cardano because of the tight-knit nature of the community. Mm-hmm. And so like it's such a good place to launch, get quick feedback, build up. I mean, Tangs was a perfect story like that. So I definitely view Spark Lab in that same lens. To Oside's point, like it's uniquely Cardano built on Cardano, and then if it works, you repeat the model once you've proven it out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the market update. So I appreciate all you guys in chat for hanging out, those listening on the recording, and the podcast listeners. Always appreciate all of you guys. If you did enjoy the show, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And with that, we will bid you farewell. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and excited for Monday. We'll see you guys there. See ya.
Good night.